Kia ora. Good afternoon. Welcome to Connecting the Dots podcast. So, trawling through all these cases, finding, things to do podcasts on, letting things fall into my lap. And this boy keeps popping up over and over and over again. And I know I'm being told to talk about it. I know he wants me to talk about it. But I hate doing missing persons cases because as a mum, these parents are living my worst nightmare. I don't know how parents are able to survive outliving their children. Like it's unnatural to me. And so, I've been working on missing persons cases for well over 30 years because when I started out as an intuitive clairvoyant and doing readings for people would bring me cases and bring me, their loved ones and that and ask me what I thought about it. And I would give my opinion and, and he keeps popping up like every fourth or fifth video, he keeps popping up. And this time he's popped up just like 10 minutes ago and he's not leaving, like he's not leaving my thought process. He's in there. He's in my gut. And I'm like, oh God, because like I know when I get that feeling, it's time to hit record and I really don't want to do this, but I'm doing it for him because he won't leave me alone because he keeps popping up. But I'm just going to be as short and succinct as I possibly can. But I would like to talk about or talk on behalf of Brandon Swanson, who went missing in 2008 in Minnesota, whose car was found in a ditch, and he called his parents and the last thing they heard him say was, "Oh shit," and then the phone went dead. There's been a lot of speculation about what happened to him, but every time, because what I do is I put the videos on and then I just lay back and listen. And because I'm a visual thinker, because, with the way I am biorhythmically, with quantum magnetics, the way that I am infused with time, I'm a visual thinker. And so when I work on these cases, what I do is I lay back or I put my headphones on and I keep myself distracted with things so that I can absorb what I'm hearing. And when I do that, I'm able to see images. And he keeps coming up and it's the same thing over and over and over and over again. And what I'm going to say is this. The reason why he said, "Oh shit," and the phone went dead is because he followed the lights. He was following the lights, thinking it was buildings, thinking it was a town, thinking it was houses, but they were actually the lights of vehicles. He walked through a field. It was like he was cutting across, following the lights, and stumbled across traffickers. And when he realised what it was he'd walked straight into, like he walked straight into them. This wasn't like a, where they were 500 metres. Like he walked straight into it. He was staring straight at them. He was probably only like a couple of seconds walking more and he could have touched the first vehicle. That's how close he was. He walked straight into it. And when he said, "Oh shit," he realised that what he'd walked into, because it's like right as they were making the exchange, as it was being passed from one vehicle to the other. Well, sorry, there were multiple vehicles because there was a lot of product. There were at least 4 that I could see from the angle I was seeing it at. There was like a van, a truck, and a couple of cars. And it was the truck and the cars were taking what was in the van, like the big van. into their vehicles, and he walked straight into it as he was watching the product being moved. And the oh shit was because he'd walked straight into it. They looked straight at him. They weren't going to let him be a witness. As far as where he is, the only thing I can say is you have to remember these were traffickers. So these were people that weren't going to be staying in the area, and they weren't going to let him stay in the area, and that's why people can't find traces of his body. They couldn't have him be a witness, and so they did what they had to do to make sure that he was not a witness. And I had a look just to be sure, and apparently Minnesota is like a gateway for trafficking, especially between like California and Canada, you know, for human trafficking and for drug trafficking. There's like a passageway that they follow for the human trafficking, and that it's, you know, because of the highway of tears in there. I know the veins that the arteries, the main veins that they come down to go between Canada and America, and it is through that area, Minnesota, Michigan, North and South Dakota, you know, to go between Canada and America and Central America. Like there's like main veins that they go down, and with drugs especially as well, you know, up through Mexico, South America, Central America, they go up through Mexico, Texas, and Arizona and the Dakotas, and you know, it's all the same. They use all the same veins. And California is one of the big veins, and Arkansas, not Arkansas, Arizona, and Minnesota, and Michigan, and the Dakotas, and there are other, you know, main thoroughfares that they go through. And if what I feel is correct, if what I feel is correct, they moved him out of the area. And that's why they can't find him. He didn't stand a chance, and that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I can say, because I don't want his family to suffer any more than they're already suffering. So yeah, quick video. Yeah, I did it. Bless their hearts.